Alright, good day everyone. So today I'm gonna show you how we customized our Playmates Mechagodzilla. So here you can see the original look or appearance of the figure. So as you can see, it's very toyish, doesn't have any weathering, it's not metallic. The red on the dorsal plates just looks awful. So anyway, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a flat brush and some silver acrylic paint. So we need to put several layers of this silver acrylic paint since it's pretty much translucent when you first apply it. And what we're gonna do here is we're trying to cover as much of the red as possible. So and just leave a little bit of red on the tips of the dorsal plate, similar to what you see in the movie. So then it still looks a bit thin, so what we did was we applied a bit of white acrylic paint first for the rest of the dorsal plates before applying some silver paint on it. So as you can see here, it appears much better than just applying the silver. And then what we're doing next is basically we're gonna apply some black acrylic paint to add more depth and to kind of show most of the details that are kind of washed out because of how the figure was designed. So we're using a thin brush to get into those nooks and crannies on the figure, especially those deep areas where you want those details to show. So here we're still using the thin brush to to get into those in-betweens of those dorsal plates, in-betweens of those tail sections of Mechagodzilla. So here you just need to take your time on applying it. You don't have to rush it, because if you rush it, the tendency is you're gonna apply the paint too thick and you're gonna lose a lot of those details also. And then from there, what we're doing is we're applying silver again on top of the black to achieve that metallic finish that we want for Mechagodzilla. And then here we're just adding some more silver and some more black on the figure. So again, so we're using black to highlight the the, uh, the, the details that you want to pop out, and then you're gonna apply some more silver so that the black becomes more shiny, more weathered. So it's kind of a combination of that. So we're applying silver, and then we're applying black, and then we're applying silver, and then we're applying black on the figure. So here again, so for the chest area now, what we're doing is we're applying the red paint using a thin brush. So if you've seen the movie, you'll see that a lot of those crevices on Mechagodzilla's body has a red glow on it. So this is what we're doing right now. So basically on the chest area, on the ribs, on the rib cage, we're gonna put some of those red paints to highlight those crevices where Mechagodzilla's body glows. So this is primarily based on the stills that we've seen from the movie as well. So this is like it's not really the final look already, but just to give you an idea on what it looks like before we continue. So here we're now gonna apply black on the stomach area first. So we're gonna apply the black paint first, and then apply some dry brushing of black on that stomach area. And then finally, what we're doing here is we're gonna put some red to highlight those crevices on Mechagodzilla's body. And then also we're going to do the same on the wrist, on the forearms of Mechagodzilla. So we're applying some red paint first based on the stills that we've seen on the movie. And then from there, we're gonna apply some gray and some silver to kind of pinpoint or to kind of make sure that we've covered only the parts that are supposed to be red. So here what we're doing is we're mixing a mixture of silver, of white and black to form a gray color that we're gonna use on the dorsal plates. And then from there, we're gonna apply some silver paint again to make those dorsal plates look more metallic. So here we're gonna do that on all the dorsal plates. And in here what we've seen is based on the stills from the movie. We've seen that the jaw of Mechagodzilla needs to be more chiseled, more defined. So what we did is we used the Dremel to shape the jaw of Mechagodzilla. Actually, the lower jaw was protruding too much. So what we did was we used a Dremel and the drill bit to kind of reduce that jaw so that it looks more aligned. And then here, if you can see on the lower part of the jaw, the Playmates Mechagodzilla actually looks a bit too round. So what we did is we've used the Dremel to chisel the jawline a bit more. So now since we've already chiseled it, so it looks more angled, more robotic, which is very much consistent in the movie. So now after we've cleaned up the head, so what we're doing now is we're gonna apply a base coat of silver again on the whole face, on the whole mouth, on the whole head area. And then from there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply some black and red acrylic paint on the mouth so that much of the details from the mouth will be exposed as well. So this is basically what we're doing here. So the black paint is basically used to pop out those details. And so here what we're doing is we're using some black paint and to dry brush the details on the face. So the intention here is to highlight all of those details on Mechagodzilla's face. And then we're applying a bit of dry brushing on the eyes as well. So here the eyes is primarily red. So we're putting a base red color on the eye. And then later on we're gonna add more details on those eyes when we finish up the figure. So, and then here we're adding some more black and some more gray and dry brushing. So that to blend those colors together. So what we're trying to achieve here is to blend basically the paint on the dorsal plates and on the tails, the tail sections. So here in between those tail sections, if you've seen the movie, Mechagodzilla's tail is in between of those tails are actually red. So what we're doing here is we're applying a base red color, so to highlight those glow on Mechagodzilla's tail. And then here what we're doing is we're adding the same red color on the dorsal plates, on the tips of the dorsal plates. So again, from the movie, the dorsal plates of Mechagodzilla has a red light on each dorsal plate. So this is what we're trying to achieve here. So this is basically the base red color. And then later on, again, we're gonna add some more details to make those red details glow. So here to add those glow on all of those red details, what we're using is a mixture of mica powder or orange mica powder and acrylic emulsion. So from there, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add that to all of those red details that you want to glow. So it's kind of like the glow effect that you will see on the figure. So the same mixture of mica powder and acrylic emulsion is painted on the rest of those red areas, like the dorsal plates, the crevices on Mechagodzilla's body, as well as on the mouth area as well. So it's okay if that glow kind of radiates outside of that red area to give it a more natural look. So here what we're doing is we're adding the same mixture of mica powder and acrylic emulsion on the mouth to make it appear like the mouth is glowing as well. So here we've noticed that the teeth of a Mechagodzilla needs more refinement. So we've seen that that detail wasn't really showing that much. So we used the Dremel to kind of refine, to kind of make those teeth stand out. And then here we've noticed that there are some paint chipping that's happening on the joint, especially on the joint on the mouth. So what we're doing here is we're using the Dremel to kind of put some more texture on the plastic. So in the process you are gonna kind of repaint it again, but at least with more texture the paint will adhere more to the plastic. So this is kind of what Mechagodzilla looks. So here we're inspecting if there are details that needs more refinement or more to make it more metallic. So here we've seen that on the knees it needs to be more metallic, so we added some silver color. And then so basically what we're doing here is touching up the details that we want to show that's supposed to be more metallic. So a lot of those gray areas, those weathered areas, we've touched it up with the silver color so that it looks more metallic. So and then when we were playing with the figure, we also see that there are joints that with paint chippings, like on the elbow, on the armpit area of Mechagodzilla. So what we did again is basically to put in more texture using Dremel. So we've Dremeled the joints so that the paint would adhere more on that surface. And then finally we're just going to repaint it with gray and silver as well. So this is what we're doing here. We're now repainting it once we've had the surface. And then from here what we're doing is we're adding some more glow on the red areas earlier. So again, to add more glow on the red areas, what we're using is an orange mica powder and some acrylic emulsion. So and then here what we did was we've added some more details on the on Mechagodzilla's dorsal plate. So if you've seen the movie, when you look at the dorsal plates of Mechagodzilla, there's a lot of details, a lot of metal sheets, some nuts and bolts there. So that's what we're trying to achieve here. So we're trying to add some details on the dorsal plates. And then finally, to add even more glow on the eyes, which is basically the highlight of Mechagodzilla, we mixed some white and some red acrylic paint. As you can see here, Mechagodzilla's eyes now glows. And then now that we're happy with how the color of the figure looks, to finalize the paint on the whole figure, we're using a gloss Mod Podge. So the gloss also helps on making the paint look more metallic. And here we're touching up on the mouth area. So this is a last minute addition basically. So what we want to achieve here is when you open the mouth of Mechagodzilla, it appears like it's gonna fire an atomic breath effect. So that's kind of what we want to achieve with adding this color. So here we're blending a mixture of pink, of white, and then finally once we're done coloring that part, again we're gonna apply some Mod Podge on that portion as well. So here what we're doing is we have a piece of a bendy wire that we've straightened up. So we've just seen this bendy wire lying around, so what we figured is why not use it for this figure as well. So we've colored it with yellow and white, and then here we're applying a thin layer of hot glue on the bendy wire, and then you just wait for that glue to dry up, and then we'll add another layer of hot glue. And then here what we're doing is we're applying some lubricant supposedly, but we don't have lubricant on hand, so we kind of used another material instead. So that was Vicks. That's a vapor rub, but if you have some lubricant on with you, like some silicone oil, you could also use that as well. And then what we're trying to do here is we're doing a breath effect for Mechagodzilla. So we want to use the Tamashi, the Bandai breath effect stand. So what we're doing is we're basically applying some hot glue on the stand, so that it will become basically the joint wherein you would attach the breath effect to the Tamashi stand. Then once it's all dried up, since you put some lubricant on the base, then it would easily be removed afterwards. So now we have our custom made Mechagodzilla breath effect, and basically all we need to do now is just paint it with whatever color you wanna use for that. So here what we're doing is we're actually painting the breath effect with a reddish or pinkish color. We are trying to mimic the same effect that we've seen on the film, where the outside or the outline of the breath effect has that reddish color, while the inside of the breath effect maintains a whitish or yellowish core. So here what we're doing is we're carefully just choosing the outline or the top and the bottom portion of the breath effect. And then finally what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some Mod Podge on this breath effect once we're done painting. So yeah, so I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. We'll be showing you a montage next on what this figure looks like. Yeah, thank you guys for watching.